What's up, sarsaparilla? It's your girl Sassy J, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, guys. It is time for another Love Island review. But before I get into the video, I'm just gonna ask you guys to do the do's and give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please like and subscribe, guys. I want to do a quick shout out before I go into tonight's review. I want to shout out to my newest member, Tracy. Thank you so much for joining the Spice It Up membership. I appreciate you, honey. So a big shout out to you. I hope you enjoy it here. Yeah, you. But anyways, guys, let's move forward. So tonight, honestly, I don't know. There's so many things I want to like literally get into, and I don't know where to start from. So shall we start from the whole Tony Harrison situation? Now, obviously, we saw the recoupling last night, and we knew what happened, what made Tony make that decision to recouple with Harrison. Obviously, we saw Lauren in tears. We know why she's in tears, because obviously she gave up the cookie. The boy not only put it under the cookie jar, but in never full of the cookie. Yeah. So obviously that's left Lauren in pieces, because she now feels used. She feels like an idiot in the situation. But at the end of the day, like, I feel it for her. But at the same time, a part of me is just like, but Lauren, why would you put yourself in that situation? Because you know that this man could not commit. And if he cannot commit, why are you making yourself available to pleasure this dude when he's not even deserving you doing so? But at the end of the day, when we like somebody, sometimes we do the dumbest of things. Yes, we do the dumbest of things, and nobody's perfect, we're all human beings. So obviously we saw where the boys, Harry and Dijon, and even Connor was saying to him, listen, you need to tell Tony about the situation, right? Because obviously Tony was not made aware of the fact that he had slept with Lauren. Now, the conversation with D, because D was saying, listen, I need to pull him up on it, because why would you do that? Why would you do that right now when you slept with a girl last night? So D was trying to like comfort Harrison, but at the same time make him realize the error of his ways. So like, dude, that was quite messed up. Tony hears the snippets. I wouldn't say she heard the conversation. She heard snippets of the conversation, comes over, full guns blazing, and wants to get into some kind of confrontation with D, saying at the end of the day, why are you being in his ears? And then comes her little lapdog, Shakira, to her defense as well, saying, well, you know, she doesn't want anyone in Harrison's ears, kind of like influencing his decision. Now, Harrison is a grown-ass man. He does not need someone to tell him how to think, right? So at the end of the day, people should be able to give their opinion to him, right? And advice without him feeling that he has to go by that. Like, he's not a child. As much as he acts like one, a big man child, he acts like one, he's not a child. So at the end of the day, if they feel like they have to be standing over Harrison while he's talking to somebody else to make sure that Harrison does not listen to what they're saying and follow suit, then something is wrong. Because at the end of the day, honey, you're in the wrong ship, because that ship will not be going anywhere. If you feel like you need to get involved at that level, let him make his mind up. But anyways, Dijon continued, and he said, listen, I'm not telling him who he needs to couple up with. I'm just saying to him, the situation was messy and timing was wrong. Anyways, I think later on, Tony still wanted to have words with Dijon in the bedroom, because you see clips of them talking. He said, listen, I'm gonna stick to what I'm saying. I never told him who he should couple up with, but I'm sticking to what I'm saying. It was wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. Now he said, well, I always tell the truth. Well, I don't know about that part, Dijon. And he said, whatever I say behind somebody, I can say it in front of them. We still don't know about that part. However, we will side with you in this situation and say, you know what? He did say it to Harrison, and he did say it behind Harrison, and I'm glad that he stood on business and kept it going with Tony as well. So we'll give Dijon that. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, when the conversation was happening, Meg was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let she talk to my man. I'm not gonna let Tony talk to my man like that, right? Her ears perked up. Obviously, she was gonna go into defense, and I understand it, because guess what? I can't even judge her for it, because Shakira had run over to jump onto the fence on for Tony. So I can't really blame Meg for wanting to stand up for her man, because that's what you do. When you care about somebody and you feel like they're getting attacked, you will be there, honey. You're there. You're ready. Let's go. Let's do it. So I can't really blame her for that. Anyways, we see Dijon and Meg having conversations, and he's basically saying, like, you know what, I'm not there yet, honey girl, but I'm falling in love. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I still feel like Dijon is just doing his own thing, and what he's saying out of his mouth is not matching him. I don't feel like it matches his true feelings. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to keep going back and forth about whether I feel like Dijon is feeling something for real for Meg, or whether it's true, or whether he's lying. I'm not going to go keep back and forth with it. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it. At the end of the day, if he's falling for her, then I wish them, wish them all the luck, Godspeed, or Godspeed, or whatever it is. But yes, I wish them luck. I don't believe it, but I wish them luck in it. I don't want them to win. Right now, I'm leaning more towards Yasmin and Jamie. I'm not going to lie. They are the underdogs in the situation, because I feel like Yasmin, from the moment she went in, she was standing on business. That girl was 100% honest and real. She's never really in the drama, like in a negative light, apart from when she first came in, where they couldn't really understand her personality and couldn't accept how honest and real she was. That was not her problem. That was a their problem situation. So for me, I'm really kind of warming up to Yasmin a bit more, and so much with her and Jamie as well, because I feel like what you can see with her and Jamie is real, natural chemistry, and you can see how feminine she's becoming more and more. Now, I will say, now I understand why she likes a creping. You remember I say, guys, that Yasmin acted like she was a cat in the past life. I didn't even realize that this girl has a cat. Now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. But you know what? At the moment, if I had to choose a couple to win, I would be team Jasmine. Sorry, I keep saying Jasmine. I would be team Yasmin and Jamie. That's it for me. I'm not going to lie to you. Team Yasmin and Jamie is who I'm actually thinking probably deserving to win at the moment. Because right now, the way the couples are going, right now, if they don't start doing something, we need to start doing something. This is the first time we've got so close to the ending where there's no proper serious couple, and the only one right now I'm seeing that I can really believe in is Yasmin and Jamie, and I want to see more of them. I really want to see more of them. But what I'm gonna say is the Boris and the Billy Kid situation, because I'm gonna go back onto the Tony and Harrison. I'm gonna go back, but the Boris and Billy Kid situation, I'm not gonna lie, I'm low-key thinking, I feel like Boris wanted to secure his time in the villa, and he wanted to do it, and he saw the chance with Billy Kiss. This is what I'm thinking. And from the conversation with him and Emma, I was actually so surprised when he pulled Emma, and he was kissing Emma. But then I listened to what he said, and he said, finally, I can hug you and kiss you now freely. So, and she was very receptive. So this means that they've been having conversations that we weren't seeing. They were communicating and connecting that we weren't seeing. Remember how I said we weren't seeing nothing about Boris and Billy Kiss? Now it makes sense. They were building something. They were connecting. This is not something where two people just, hey, hi, I want to get to know you. Yes, I want to get to know you. No, this was something brewing that we were not shown. They were brewing, right? And at the end of the day, if they really have a connection, why not? Let's go for it. Because what we don't want is somebody to latch on to Billy Kiss and he doesn't want her. You know what I'm saying? Billy Kiss and Cash was having a conversation, and by the conversation, I could tell that they know each other. They probably not know each other, but they know of each other. They share similar friends. They're both friends with Tanya and Shaq, and I think and Dami as well. So they obviously know each other. Do you know what I mean? So they might have just met in social settings. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, I would like them to get to know each other. I'm not quite sure if Cash is into black girls. I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to judge. I'm not quite sure. I know the only other person that he's shown interest in is Helena, right? From the get-go. So I don't really know. Do you know what I mean? But I guess we'll have to wait and see. What I will say though, Cash, I had to really go and look up Cash's age, because for a 24-year-old man, this guy is so mature, so level-headed, such a gentleman, so patient, so calm, and it's sexy. Damn it, it's sexy. Because, he sat there and he said, you know what, when Tony was talking and he let her talk and he said, no. And I like that he checked her and he said, no. You've been knowing, I've been looking into those eyes for the last 5 days, and I could tell that you made your decision, right? And the fact that you didn't say anything to me. I could tell you made that decision, but you were waiting on the other person to give you the go ahead. And the fact that you didn't even say anything to me, and I had to hear in front of all those people standing there, you know, you embarrassed me. I've lost respect. And you know what? He didn't have to shout. He did not have to shout his way. He broke some serious stereotype tonight. You hear me? That man broke some serious stereotype tonight. I am so proud of him. I am so, like, and then he was embarrassed. She embarrassed him. And when he started to cry, I felt it to my core, because I'm just like, you know what? Gentlemen like these, this is how we get a good man turn bad, because they buck up in us some people. Do you know what I'm saying? They buck up in us some people. Cash is such a beautiful soul. He's such a beautiful soul. He did not deserve that. He did not deserve that. And you know what? I appreciate Ty and his friendship, because, you know, you kind of need somebody to talk to, like you feel like you can confide in that moment. Because at the end of the day, he gave her so many different opportunities to just come clean and to be honest. He was so patient and understanding. And the thing is, he knew that she wanted to go back. And he knew that she knows she wanted to go back. But because she kept denying it to him, obviously he's not going to come and like, yes, you want to. Yes, you want to. He waited for her to do the right thing and was hoping that when she made that decision, she would let him know. But she didn't. She did not let him know. Not before the recoupling. And I know within that time, it's short moments. But at the end of the day, she could have recoupled with him and just broke it to him afterwards. Because at the end of the day, if Harrison wants to be with her, even if he's in a couple and recoupled with Lauren, he can still get to know Tony. So at the end of the day, they didn't have to make that decision right there and then. Do you know what I'm saying? It was selfish of Harrison. Selfish. But Harrison has already gotten what he wanted from Lauren. So he doesn't need to keep waiting and all that kind of stuff, because now he knows what it feels like to be with Lauren. So now that temptation is gone. That thing is not even bothering anymore. For him, he doesn't know, he hasn't experienced Tony yet. So he wants to experience Tony now. Do you know what I'm saying? The thing is now that he's told Tony, I feel like, because I was watching it, and I feel like Tony acted very calm in that situation. She acted very calm and mature within that situation when he told her, because she could have thrown a hissy fit and all this kind of stuff. The problem is now, because we see Tony and Lauren talking, and she said, I'm so sorry, I did not know this. You know, I'm really, really sorry for you, and da-da-da-da, and he's an evil person, and who does that? But just listening to her, she's saying, I don't know where I'm going to go from here. Tony knows exactly where she's going from here. Let Tony not fool you guys. It's the same thing that Tony was singing for the whole time. She was saying one thing, but her body and everything wanted something else. Tony knows exactly where she's going from here with Harrison. Yeah? She's only saying that because of the situation. She don't want to come across as a fool. She knows exactly. She's going to go right back to him. Do you hear what she said in the last bit? Oh, I'm just, my concern is that he might go back and forth between us. If you did not know, and if you don't believe any of the things that you don't believe, you don't know where you're going to go from here because you're so disgusted. But then you're worried about the back and forth. That means you know where you're going. You're just concerned that because they slept together, he might want to go back and all that kind of stuff. So Tony, as much as I like the fact that she showed some empathy, right, towards Lauren, and I like the fact that she was respectful and mature enough to have that conversation with Lauren, and also to call Harrison out on his wrong. I respect that of her, so I'm not going to bash her for that. But I'm going to need her to also just be honest, because Tony is losing the person that she was when she went in. Because yes, she's still outspoken, but Tony is not being honest with her feelings these days. She's not. Because at the end of the day, she been saying one thing and she means and she basically means another. That's really what it is. But at the end of the day, you know, I just really hope Lauren bounced back from this, because at the end of the day, you know what? One of my friends used to say, I can't even say it like this. Let me try and fix it. He used to say, I'm going to say one sex, but he did not say sex. He said the F word. He said, one sex does not kill pum pum. That's what he used to always say. That's what he used to say, right? So at the end of the day, if you feel rejected in that situation and you feel like somebody used you, you know what? Yes, cry about it, but bounce back. Cry and bounce back, because it's not the end of the world. Yes, you were violated in some areas. It was a decision for both of you, made that decision to sleep together. But that's that violation. It's a violation, the fact that he just left her just like that the following night. Just left her. I would feel violated. I feel violated for her. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. Like, they both made that decision. They both knew that the situation wasn't like as clear cut. And I'm not even listening to Harrison when he comes with them bullshit talking about, you know, I'm responsible, I'm to be blamed, this is caused by me because I made the situation messy because I couldn't make my mind up. Don't come in here with your victim personality. No bother with it, little narcissist. Don't bother with it. Little narcissist, don't bother with it. Don't bother with it. Listen, that's what they do to kind of get the sympathy, can make it look like they've changed and they've realized the error of their ways, and they know they're the one to be blamed. It's kind of like they want to get somebody to say, you know, they're there. Yes, you messed up, but it's okay. And at least now you know better, and at least now you're trying to make it better. You're trying to be a better person. Bullshit! Bullshit! Do not fall for it, guys. Do not fall for it. Don't fall for it. Bullshit. Bullshit, and I call it out. Bullshit. But let's see what's going to happen. Let us see what's going to happen, because at the end of the day, you know, I feel like he said he wants to be all for Tony. And if he wants to be all for Tony, that's fine. Because, and if you listen to the conversation when he was telling the boys, he was telling the boys that he told Tony that he wants to be, he still likes her, but he was expecting to still be open to both of them. But yet still, even paused when Tony said, like, I'm hoping you're done getting to know her. Right? But, do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't try to go back to Lauren. I feel like he might. But I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't. And the reason why I say I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't is because at the end of the day, men tend to go back when there's something to be curious about. But when you take away the curiosity, when you fulfill that curiosity, then it goes through the window a lot of times, right? And there's nothing left there for him to be curious about. Because not only did he experience it once, he experienced it twice, right? So this urge that he was having, that he couldn't make his mind up, you know, because he's having all these sexual urges that's confusing him, those have been fulfilled. So now, you know, they say men act crazy before they get the pumps. But after them get the pumps, them actually start think with this instead of that. Because guess what? Those urges have been satisfied. So it could be now that he's ready to be, because guess what? He knows what that feels like. His thirst has been quenched. So he can go into the situation with there's a clear head. His thirst has been quenched. But it's been quenched at somebody's expense. But can we blame him? I feel like we cannot put all the blame on Harrison for this situation. 1 minute, guys. Bless me. You know, my friend gave me the cold. I feel like we can't put all the blame on Harrison for the situation of the sleeping with situation. Yes, what he did was diabolical, because he slept with somebody knowing that he wasn't all in, and then the following day make a decision to leave. But at the end of the day, we can't fully put all the blame on Harrison, because it takes two to tango. And as well as Harrison, who knew that he was back and forth, there was also Lauren, who knew that Harrison was back and forth, right? She knew he was back and forth. I know he said he told her so many different things about, I can see you on the outside, but she has seen how he played Tony and Helena. So at some point, those things should have been in your head. Those things should have been, and even if it wasn't originally, Andrada tried to explain to her, do not. So you should have had some kind of female intuition to stop you from making that decision. Unless you feel like, if I slept with him, it means I will win. means that he will focus on me, means that I'll have one up on Tony, means that, you know, it will seal the deal, right? Regardless of the reason, because I don't know what the reason is, because sometimes you can just be so in love with somebody. And I say in love, and I know they haven't been there for a long time, but when you are in a close environment with somebody and they're telling you all the stuff that you want to hear and you're all touchy-feely, you get feelings. It might not be love, it might be lust, it might be infatuation, but it's something. And sometimes that something feels like it's love, because it might make you feel like you can't be without that person. But the moment you leave that villa, you don't even remember. You be seeing that person in the street and be like, I'm so sorry, guys. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know who that man is. I've never seen him and never heard of him. I don't even know his name. I don't know that guy. You know what I'm saying? You might be saying that, but once you're in the villa, night and day, in front of that person, touching on the person, kissing on that person, you gonna feel something. I'm not saying it's love, but it could be lust, infatuation, but it gonna feel like it's more. It's going to feel like it's more. So people can do those things, and that could be another reason why she did it. It doesn't have to be anything to do with Tony. It could just be her wanting Harrison so much and wanting to be with him so much and feel like she's in love with him or whatever feeling she's feeling. So I'm not going to judge her anymore on that. Well, I'm not judging her anyways, but I'm not going to keep going on and on about it, because I feel like now I've said what I wanted to say, unless something else happened in tomorrow's episode about it. But yeah, but I don't know. But I just think Tony needs to be honest and stop saying that she don't know what she wants to do with Harrison, because she knows exactly. She's going to keep going. She's going to move on with that situation with Harrison. She will do. But obviously she's not going to just make it look like that it's that easy, because she knows there's disappointment, and she knows, like, from Shakira is not 100% happy with this either. And what I do like about Shakira and with her friend is that when she talks to Tony, she doesn't always support Tony's bullshit, in a sense where, yes, she might support it, but she'll tell her. She'll be like, oh, that's no good, Tone. That's not good. That's not good. Da, da, da. I don't think you should do this. And she will let her know. Now, whatever Tone does, she supports her in the end, but she will let her know. And I respect that of Shakira, if I was to be completely honest. I do respect that. But anyways, on the topic of Shakira and what's his name? Shakira and Connor had their kiss on the terrace and whatever, and she was telling him how she felt. Connor's saying, like, he, for the first time in a long time, he feels happy in a couple, right, and a new couple. And I'm really hoping it kind of stays that way, because I feel like Connor seems to, like, go from one to the next, and there's that little concern in the back of my head thinking, is he going to explore the situation with her and then get bored after 2 days? We just don't know. He doesn't seem to believe that, and obviously they have a friendship, so I'm hoping that friendship is enough to make them feel some kind of connection that will grow into something beautiful. I really don't know. I will say, though, like, the conversation with Eleanor and Harry about Emma going into the Hideaway. So Eleanor was supportive of it, right? And she was like, get in there, Emma, get in. She asked Harry, do you think that they will get into the hot tub? And he went, no. And the camera literally switches to them in the Hideaway in the tub. And I'm starting laughing myself. I'm like, well, Harry, do you even know Emma? You know what I'm saying? And then he asked if, do you think they'll kiss? I don't think he responded, but obviously they did kiss. You know what I'm saying? They obviously did kiss. So I don't know, but like I said, that situation was a bit bizarre for me, because I feel like from the conversation, it seems that this is something that was been brewing for Emma and him. But then again, why did she make that speech that she made about Cash last night? It made no sense, as if she was open to get to know Cash, but she seems so into Boris. Because if her and Boris were not flirting and did not have those kind of a connection before, it means that Emma's just acting desperate. But I don't believe that's the case. I believe from the conversation, because I was listening to the conversation between them, they've been flirting and they've been connecting, and that's been brewing. But I don't know. Let's see how it goes. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know at this point, because I don't know if Lauren will be able to fully throw herself into getting to know somebody right now, because that is a burn that hurts, right? And I know Ty's into her, but I don't know. And how will Ty feel when he knows that they stepped together? I don't even know how we feel about that. But the potential of the guys that she could get to know in there, Ty, obviously Boris is gone for Emma, and then Cash. Maybe Ty and Cash are the only two people at this very moment that she could get to know. But I really don't know. I really do not know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But, you know, it's sad for her. And I really hope that the girls support her in there. And just kind of help her to build her confidence back a little bit, because that's the thing. A man can break you down. They can build you up, but they can break you down in seconds. You will take all your life putting yourself up on a pedestal, you know, lifting yourself up, building yourself, and in a matter of a day, some guy can come and just boom, knock you down, all the way down. You know, so ladies, let's just remind ourselves of this, right? If a guy does not prove himself worthy of you, do not, under no circumstances, give that man access to your body. Yeah? Sometimes you have to love yourself enough to walk away. Sometimes you have to love yourself enough to put yourself first. And that's not always easy when you love and care about somebody else. It's really not. It's not always, because I've been through it myself, where I know what is right and I know what is wrong, and I still choose to do the wrong. I'm not perfect, so I'm not going to come down at anybody for choosing to do the wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? But eventually there comes a time where you have to draw the line. So I hope that these girls just draw the line. Okay, draw the line. But anyways, guys, if you've gotten to this part in the video and you haven't yet thumbs up for the video, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, welcome, please subscribe. So guys, tomorrow is Thursday. You know, normally they give us a little bit of spice on the Thursday and then leave us hanging on the Friday. So let's see what's gonna happen tomorrow. I don't know, it's good to see that the girls are talking, Lauren and Tony, without, you know, the bickering, because I feel like we don't have to, as girls, always be arguing. I feel like we can communicate and we can all get along. And I think for this season, it's just been about girls going at each other. So, you know, I hope that the season at least ends with the girls building some kind of bond and relationship. But one can only hope, right? One can only hope. But anyways, guys, I'll see y'all in tomorrow's review. But for now, keep it sassy, delicious.